Welcome back, awesome action toy fans and subscribers. Today we have a Boss Fight Studios. This is from the Wave 3, I believe. Does it say? Series 2, I think it's Wave 3. Lord Vehemous, or Vehemous, Dragon Cult War Priest. This does look very, very nice, and I can't wait to open this and show you guys and play myself, obviously. Okay, so on the back, historical documentation, self-proclaimed leader of a sect which worships dragons as avatars of the gods. Vehemous found a tome that grants him the ability to control these mighty beasts. Using this power, he has amassed a substantial number of followers, each of whom have been granted supernatural powers by the liberal imbibing of dragon blood. The blood has addictive properties and causes physical deformities, but Dragon Cult members do not care. The telepathic powers, immunity to disease, and tolerance to pain they gain are worth it. Temporal log. Vehemous has lately begun to preach that a magical item exists in the blasted lands that will allow his followers to take the next step and become dragons themselves. It appears legends of Sethino's staff has reached his ears. Will he do the unthinkable and resurrect the long-lost Gorgon horde if he finds it? Okay. Great thing about these the Truvian hacks and this sort of buy information is you can take it out and reseal again. So I'll be keeping that, obviously. Now let's have a look at this and see what we've got. Now the thing that strikes me first of all, looking from the outside in, is the ball and chain he has with a metal chain. That looks really, really nice. So let's have a look at that first. Oh, that is really nice. Metal chain or plastic? Metal, yeah. That is a lovely feature there. Some decent paint apps on the handle. You could probably do a bit more yourself on the actual ball, spiked ball part there. That is really something nice. Not often you see something like that in this sort of scale. Behind here we have a book which can attach to his belt somewhere, I believe. We have a sword, nice looking sword, good paint apps. A sheath for the sword, which is nice. That's his base, spare hands, and looks like a cloak section that goes around his shoulders. Knife and a sheath, which jumped out at me, and also a staff with another ball section at the end, which I believe you can take off, which is nice. You can change the attachments around if you want. The same should apply to this one here, but I don't want to break the chain, so I won't try that just yet. Okay, so figure looks really nice. You have the mask with the horns. That's fantastic paint app on that. Very nice. Except the back parts, they seem to have sort of not done the paint app, but you could paint that metal yourself if you wanted. It's a lovely looking mask. They're very atmospheric. These two shoulder pads which will match up with the cloak section, small cloak section that goes around his back. You have this skull head here, which is nice because you add variety. If you have two of these, you can obviously have two different looking figures, or even more variety because of the amount of options you have. So this does come off. The armor looks really good, and that does actually, let's have a look. Yep, that will come off too from there. That will come off, but that'll be a bit more difficult to do. The chest part is one piece, so that won't come off. But this is a really nice looking figure. Very, very nice. If I make him hold his little ball and chain here, I'll use his though his hands might need to be swapped. His hands are actually quite tight and the spare ones are looser, so these hands would be better for something thinner if he was holding. Perhaps you could stretch them out, but you don't want to risk breaking your new toy, your new figure. Woo. Stretch that a little bit, and here he goes. So yeah, these hands are a little bit tight for the handles, or the handles are a bit too big, wide for the hands. But that is a great effect, really nice on the ball and chain there. And it actually is really quite big, so it's even suit a figure on a bigger scale than this, maybe even a 1/12 scale, but it's really, really nice. Very, very impressed with that. Staff, which you can change the end, is very nice too, which is good. And the swords too. And the head can be swapped. Let's have a look at him with his mask on. Yeah, that is very, very menacing. That does look really, really good. The sculpting is really good. The paint apps are really nice on the armor, more of a bone effect than metal, so you could change that to metal you want. The paint app on the face is nice, but there's no inking, there's no highlighting, so if you want you could do that and highlight the hair, ink the hair, maybe some on the face, but it does look really good. And his cloak section, which will come off, looks nice too. He has these side notches on his legs where you could put the sheaths for the sword and the dagger if you wanted. The book one, I'm assuming, attaches to his belt. He has a hole here and one there where this could attach. Now obviously you don't want to have this and a knife or sheath at the same time, so they'll get in the way of each other. That looks really atmospheric. You can just pick that up and read as he so likes, do his incantations and spells. Normal awesome boss fight studios articulation, goes wide on the legs, which is good. There's no ankle rock, just forwards and backwards, but that's okay. Shoulders go quite high, but the armor restricts it a little bit, so you have to turn it around the other way. Elbows, he gets just under 90 degrees on his left arm, and again just under on his right arm, but that's okay with armor, we expect that. The head is the neck joint, sorry, doesn't quite get the range of motion I would expect, and that's a bit better. So that is as far up as it'll go without coming off, which is not a lot, that's more like straight. Down he gets a lot more. Left and right are okay, but upwards you get any more further than that and his head will pop off. And that's more to do with the actual neck part at the back here. You may, if you're adventurous, want to file that down a little bit so he gets more range of motion, but I think I'm happy with that. He doesn't look up particularly well, but other than that it's really, really nice. Let me have a look at the other set of hands and his sort of small miniature cloak section he has in here. Okay, so that's small, that will go over his back. You could put his the woolen pieces in through the holes there and onto the back. That will give a nice effect. Let me have a look at that now, in fact. Which way would these go? Let me see. Thick part on the outside, so it should be that way. Okay, and then this one like this. Now these can be difficult to put into the holes, so it may take a bit of doing, but let's have a look. See if I can get this in first time. Yeah, it's going to be difficult to actually get these in tight enough straight away on a first attempt. Okay, not too bad. I could still push those in slightly more. Yes, that's going to come up a little bit unless I actually get this in tight enough. But it's still quite atmospheric. He gets a nice cloak section on his back there, which does look good. It does suit him. This is a really nice looking figure. If I look at his other set of hands, let's have a look. Let's compare them. This hand has very little difference in terms of the sculpting, it's just the articulation is different. And this one, same, just the articulation, which is a shame. It'd be nice they're slightly more open for his ball and chain. The sword handle is similar girth, but it comes down, it tapers off slightly, and you can push this one in from the bottom so he can hold that much more easily. And that does look particularly nice in his hands there. This is a really nice figure. In fact, this may well be my favourite Vitruvian Hax one so far. If I change his head over and put the skull head in, let's have a look how that one looks. Oh, now that is even better. That's like my favourite figure now. And even if you put the skull head with the mask on, the helmet on, looking through the eyes, you have these big hollow recesses. Let me take it off a little bit. There we go. You have these hollow recesses in the eyes, which makes it look even more menacing and evil. This is a really nice figure. Boss Fight Studios are well done on this. You've done a very good job. This is absolutely awesome. So I believe this wave is out now, or coming out very soon. I got this from a Hong Kong supplier. Maybe because they're close to the factories, they sent it out earlier, I don't know, and I'm very happy. This is a phenomenal 1/18 scale action figure. If you love fantasy, you need to get one of these. If you love Vitruvian Hax, obviously you're going to get one of these, but these are really nice. The options for customizing are just so good. Before I go, I will try it again here, so I'm sure that this comes out, and I am right. Okay, that is now coming out there. I won't take it out completely, but you can take the spike off and change to something else, which is nice. And I believe that maybe, no, this one is fixed, so I don't want to break that off. If that could have came off as well, that would have been really nice to have, you know, 2 spikes on end, or 2 of these mace heads on one end too. This is an awesome figure. Definitely one of my favourites of all time in 1/18 scale. I really do like this. Do pick one up. It is really nice. Big graphic arms. I do actually have a Fell Beast from Lord of the Rings, which is a 1/12 scale, ready for this Dragon Lord here, which I'm going to stick him on, and that will look really nice. And I'll post some pictures up on Facebook on that, and maybe do a video about that a bit later as well. This is Awesome Action Toys signing out, saying stay happy, keep collecting, and do pick up one of these. Please like and subscribe. If you want, you can share too, and I'll be back with more reviews soon.